Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so happy to have you. Congratulations on being a brand new student here at CSULB in the College of Natural Sciences Mathematics. Um, I would like to maybe advance us to the next slide so we can just go ahead and get started. Since I'm talking right now, I'll go ahead and just introduce myself, and then I'm going to hand it over to my colleagues to introduce themselves. My name is Shannon Durbin. I'm one of the advisors in CNSM, which is the College of Natural Science and Mathematics Academic Advising Center. And so we're here to support all students, and specifically we're here to help transfer students, just to share out information, help point you in the right direction when you have questions. All of you will be working with your faculty advisors, but we can kind of help kind of get you sorted in more of the technical aspects and make sure that you're in touch with the people that you need to be in touch with. So with no further ado, let me hand it over to Dahlia to introduce herself.
Hello, welcome. Congratulations, as Shannon mentioned. Welcome to the beach. My name is Dahlia Valle. I'm one of the academic advisors here on the team and a Thrive coordinator. I advise pre-majors in bio, marine bio, and pre-physics. I also want to share that I was also a community college transfer student, so I've walked a similar path as you, so I understand what this means. And so I just want to, again, congratulate you and welcome you to the beach. And I'll hand it over to Efren now.
Awesome. Again, welcome here to Cal State Long Beach. I too was a transfer student from Long Beach City College, so same as Dolly and all of you, we have similar trajectories, different majors, but similar trajectories. And I'm also one of the academic advisors for CNSM and one of the Thrive coordinators. And I advise for biology, microbiology, zoology, botany, ecology, and molecular cell biology and physiology. So we're grateful for that you're here with us today, and hand it over back to Shannon.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So this is just part of the team that we have. You'll also have a faculty advisor that you're assigned to. And, thank you, Efren and Dahlia, for reminding me. It was just a long time ago for me, but I was a transfer student too. So you're in good company here. All right, Dahlia, could we advance to the next slide?
I'm trying.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Awesome. All right, so we just wanted to kind of go over a few things just to make sure you kind of understood the housekeeping rules here today, and you knew, everything's functioning on your end. So number one, everyone's videos and microphones are disabled. That's just to kind of minimize any distractions so that we can make sure that we're conveying clear and concise information for you today. This will be recorded. This is being recorded, and it will be posted on our website, our incoming website, for students that are coming in for SOAR. So you will have a chance to review this later on. We'll also post those links. There'll be some links that we'll be sharing with you. When and if you have questions, you'll see that there is a question and answer feature at the bottom of your screen. We'd ask that you put your questions there, and then we'll answer them as soon as possible. We'll be answering questions that are really related to the topic today. If you have something that's super granular and super specific just to you and nobody else, that might be something that would be more appropriate for your faculty advisor. And so we'll kind of either direct you to your faculty advisor for that, or we'll direct you to our CNSM advising email so that we can make sure you're getting all of those important questions answered. As I mentioned, this will be recorded, and we will post this later on, so you can kind of jump on there and re-review it later on if you'd like. And just as a note, it's really important to always be checking your email. I know you guys are getting a gajillion emails already, and it's probably a bit overwhelming. But we are trying to send you stuff that's really, not only full of information, like if it's coming from CNSM, it's information that has to do with advisement, registration, orientation. And we just want to make sure that you have all the information that you need. We'll be posting some links later on in this chat that will also take you to our website, where you can find basically a checklist of things, and it links out to a bunch of other resources too. But do check not only your CSULB email, so if you haven't been checking that, check it. And then also check your personal email too, because sometimes when you're kind of transitioning over to this campus, sometimes things, it might take a minute for everything to be routed to your CSULB email. All right, next slide, please. All right, so here's our agenda today. We wanted to keep it short and sweet. We want to just really deliver on key information for you to kind of help you navigate this process. So we're going to talk about next steps, what to expect on that. We're going to talk about advising, so academic advising. We're going to talk about SOAR orientation versus registration, so you kind of understand the difference between those two things. And then we're going to share a little bit about preparing for registration. And then finally, we're going to have a Q&A session at the end where you can put your questions in the Q&A chat. You can do that throughout the presentation, but you can also do it at the end. And we'll be answering those via text response in the Q&A. And in some cases at the end after the presentation, we might also answer certain questions aloud, just depends. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so here's the next steps. The next steps for everyone here is that you're going to want to complete the online course module. That's a Canvas course that you can find when you log into your My Apps. So if you're not familiar, your single sign-on for CSULB is like kind of your one-stop shop for everything, right? So you can find your email there, you can find Student Center there. You can find Canvas there among many other really great resources. And so this Canvas course can answer a lot of the questions that you may have. It will include a lot of the sort of nuts and bolts things in terms of, how do you log in and, do your first registration, what is the system called? How does it work? All that good stuff. It'll also take you through key policies, timelines, dates, just all the information that you really need to know to kind of get you started. So jump on that course module before you attend orientation so you can just have a good sense of things. And it's always good to get those kinds of questions answered early on, so then, later on when you're meeting with your faculty advisor, you can ask way more specific questions about you. And then everyone here will also be meeting with their faculty advisor prior to registration. You'll have your first advising meeting with them. Some of the faculty is still reaching out to students, but they will be reaching out to you via email to set up either a Zoom meeting, which I think most faculty will be doing that. In some cases, faculty might also follow up with students via email. And in that meeting, what you're going to want to, do is just make sure that you're bringing transcripts, even if they're unofficial, come with any questions that you may have, so that they can make sure that they're aware of everything that you've already done. We don't want students to retake something that they've already taken. So in that faculty advisor meeting, it's a great opportunity to let them know if you have anything that hasn't been transferred to CSULB, maybe you're finishing a course this summer, so you can have those conversations before you attend SOAR orientation. The other thing I should note is that meeting with your faculty advisor is mandatory. So, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to do it because you will get specific course recommendations and everything else, and you get a chance to make that connection with your faculty. But it is also mandatory, meaning that students who do not meet with their advisor, whether it's by Zoom or email or some other method, will have a hold on their account. So you're going to want to make sure you do that. And again, faculty are going to be reaching out to students. Some may have already started reaching out, but most of them really do start reaching out to students in June. So if you haven't heard anything yet, don't panic. They'll be reaching out to you very soon. In terms of the sequence after that, so basically you're preparing yourself by going through that online course module. Then you're meeting with your faculty advisor to really get specifics on what you're registering for and to make sure that they understand all the things you're transferring in. And then you're going to attend SOAR orientation. SOAR orientation, depending on the date that you sign up for, is either on campus or it is in person. Well, that's the same thing. Excuse me. It's either on campus in person or there is one virtual date in the middle, and we'll talk about that in a moment. SOAR orientation is going to set you up with kind of like all the different resources you have on campus, and there are a ton. So that'll just be a great opportunity to really learn like what's available to you and where to find it, and get a lot of other questions asked and answered. The day after SOAR orientation, you will be able to register for your first fall classes. And that will be online. That is not on campus. That is something you can do from the comfort of your own home or a coffee shop or whatever you prefer, but it's online through My Student Center. And so, and that starts at 9 a.m. the day following SOAR orientation. So just to highlight, must meet with faculty advisor to lift your advising hold, must attend SOAR orientation to lift your SOAR orientation hold. Those 2 holds will be lifted if you attend both of those activities, which will allow you the very next day after orientation to start getting registered at 9 a.m. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so a lot of this I think I just talked about, so I'm gonna really just kind of skip through this pretty quickly. But again, for your online course module, you can go to your single sign-on, and your single sign-on, also known as My Apps, will give you a bunch of what people call like chiclets or tiles, but basically all these little things that you can click on. And one of the chiclets you're going to see is Canvas. Canvas is also where a lot of your coursework is going to be posted. There's a lot of asynchronous coursework or just resources that are attached to your courses that will be provided through Canvas. I know that probably a lot of you have already had experience working with Canvas. It's pretty straightforward, but there is a Canvas there's a tutorial within this module too, to kind of show you like maybe where all the secret things are with Canvas. Sometimes we use it in a very straightforward way, but there's other ways to kind of get more out of it. So when you go to the Canvas chiclet, you click on that, you'll see a courses tab, you select on courses, and there you'll see SOAR Advising CNSM Transfer Fall 2025. And that's going to take you through a series of modules. It's going to answer a bunch of your questions. So again, carve out, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes out of your schedule just to kind of go through that module and kind of make sure that you're understanding all the material there. As mentioned earlier, faculty advisors will be reaching out to students, and they are going to be sending emails, whatever the email we have on file for you is. As we get closer to the beginning of the semester, everyone's email is going to pretty much shift over to their student email, a CSULB email. But in the meantime, just as things are kind of uploading and everyone's records are kind of like coming to life, do make sure you're checking both your personal and your CSULB email for contact from your faculty advisor. The faculty will email you specifics on how to set up an advising appointment. They should have multiple dates, multiple times in which you can meet with them. And typically these meetings are about an hour. Sometimes less, sometimes a little more, just depending on what your needs are. Appointments are typically by Zoom, just so everyone's working, everyone's got a billion things to do, and Zoom seems to be the easiest way to kind of make sure both faculty and students are able to connect as soon as possible. In some cases, faculty may also do some advising by email. For example, if they're going to send you just kind of a wrap up of what your discussion was, what your course recommendations are, and things like that. And then on our Summer SOAR Guidance for Incoming Transfer Students website, you're going to see a list of all the faculty advisors there and their advising dates. This will also be emailed to you from that faculty advisor, but if you're like, oh, let me double check something, it also includes contact information and other key stuff. So make sure, the Summer SOAR Guidance for Incoming Transfer Students, that website is going to have links out to almost everything you need. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so as I already mentioned, advising appointments are going to be with faculty advisors. If you're, I think Efren is already throwing links into the chat, but if it's easier, you can hold up your phone right now and go ahead and scan this QR code, which should also take you to our Summer SOAR Guidance. So one way or the other, when you click on it, make sure you bookmark it. That way you can easily find it when you need it. When meeting with your faculty advisor, as I mentioned, please bring copies of unofficial transcripts. If you're taking a class this summer, you're definitely going to want to let them know what that is, because it may impact the courses that you're going to be taking this fall. The main thing for us is that all of us at CNSM, whether we're in the advising center or faculty advisors, we want to make sure that you're taking only the coursework that you need to take. And we know that one of the challenges as a transfer student, and all three of the presenters here are transfer students, is that you want to make sure that you're getting credit for the work that you've already completed. And so when having that meeting with a faculty advisor, there's a lot of information they're already going to have, but it never hurts to just bring in anything that you're not 100% sure, like, oh, I sent in those transcripts 3 days ago. Maybe they're not yet in there. Or just anything that's pending that they couldn't possibly be aware of. Just come in there and let them know, because again, we want to make sure they have all the information that they need to give you the correct advice. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so for SOAR orientation, so now we're kind of moving into this space. So as we were talking about before, the first thing on your checklist after you've reviewed the Canvas course is to meet with your faculty advisor. Your faculty advisor is going to give you your course recommendations. They're going to make sure that what you're being recommended is not, not taking something that you've already completed. The next step is SOAR orientation. So SOAR orientation for most of the dates is going to be on campus. And if you look at the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see SOAR orientation and registration dates. If you look down from SOAR orientation, if you kind of look down, you'll see July 8th, 14th, 23rd. Those are the 3 orientation days available to CNSM students this summer. And this, as you can see, for the 8th and the 23rd, that's going to be on campus. That means you'll need to, follow SOAR's guidance in terms of where to arrive, what to do. And then for the folks on the 14th, you'll receive different guidance on how to log in and kind of, how to prepare for that. For any student after the day after they attend SOAR, they'll be able to register. So if you attend SOAR orientation on July 8th, you'll be able to start registering July 9th at 9 a.m. July 14th. Oops, the date on there is incorrect. It's July 14th is orientation, but it is July 15th, not 23rd, July 15th you'll register, my bad. And then for folks that are attending orientation on July 23rd, you'll be registering the next day, July 24th at 9 a.m. And again, you're registering from home. You don't come back to campus. You can just register from the comfort of your own home starting 9 a.m. We will also be providing guidance. So CNSM Academic Advising Center, we're going to have virtual support, which you can also find on our website. So that means that starting at 9 a.m. on the day that students are registering, we're going to be online to be able to help answer any questions. Just keep in mind that we won't be giving course recommendations or anything that you would talk about with your faculty advisor. Instead, we are going to be there to help you navigate the registration process if you have any questions. So the point of that is just to make sure that if you're kind of struggling with any of the ways to add courses, or you have questions around that, we'll be able to view the course recommendations your faculty provided you, and then help you with any technical questions you might have. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so as I mentioned, your registration hold, if you attended both your advisement session with your advisor and attended SOAR orientation, your registration holds will be lifted and you'll be able to start registering 9 a.m. the day after orientation. Let's see, have your faculty advisor approved fall. Okay, so we will have your faculty advisors approved fall course recommendations. We'll be able to see that. So you'll definitely want to have that information handy as well, but we're also able to see what you've been approved to register for. And then we will be on Zoom, and again, on our registration, on our website, you can see the times and dates that were available, as well as the Zoom link to jump on if you need any registration support. Next slide, please. Okay. So I'm really repeating myself at this point, but I just want to make sure all of this is crystal clear and everything. It is important to complete your SOAR and advising module on Canvas. That's something you can do right away, and it'll really help answer a lot of the nuts and bolts type of questions. And then look to your emails for emails from your faculty advisor. Again, looking at your personal and your CSULB email, where you'll receive specific instructions on how to meet with your faculty and their availability. And then the next thing is to attend SOAR orientation. If you are On the first or the last date offered for CNSM, it'll be on campus, and for the middle date, which is the 14th, I believe, it'll be virtual. All students, meaning if your date, let's say you're attending SOAR Orientation on July 14th. That means that all your holds will be lifted and you'll be ready to go the following day, which would be July 15th in your case, to start getting registered. One of the things I also want to point out too is that CNSM reserves many of their courses for incoming transfer students. So we're aware that students are coming in and they're registering in the middle of the summer. And so understanding that we reserve a number of seats for you so that you'll be able to get registered. And that means that, you know, depending on your registration date, we're still going to have seats available for students to get registered. Next slide, please. Okay, that's it. So if my colleagues want to also come up online, let me see. Okay, let's see if we've got anything in the chat, or excuse me, not in the chat, in the Q&A. Okay, if you have specific questions, you're welcome to put them in the Q&A feature, and we will answer them. Okay, for tuition. Tuition is due. Did one of my colleagues happen to know that off the top?
I don't know off the top, but I can check.
I think that might be under key dates and deadlines. So we're going to look that up for you and see if we can't put that in the chat for you. Let's see. Oh, okay, so August 13th. And let me put that in the chat as well. Let's see here. Okay. So let me throw it in the chat. So tuition deadline. August 13th, but let me also put the link so you can look it up as well. What I'm putting in here is key dates and deadlines, which includes a lot of, well, exactly as it says, key dates and deadlines, which all of us use all the time just to make sure we're kind of tracking with that. So there you go. Okay, so if one of my colleagues could maybe look up for vaccine records, this is stuff that's very Googleable as well, you guys. So these are answers that you should usually be able to find, but let's see if we can find them as well. For transcripts, they're due as soon as possible. So once you have them, meaning like when the final grade is posted, go ahead and go on to the website of that institution. Usually you can just put in the name of the college and then, you know, also include transcripts, and that should take you right to their transcripts page, and then request that those transcripts be sent to CSULB. Most institutions are using a service called Parchment these days, which means it's a digital transfer. And so those go pretty quick and are processed pretty quickly, but on the long end, it could take 2 weeks. On the short end, it could take a couple of days. It just kind of depends on how many records are coming through admission. So that's why the second you get them, go ahead and send them over. That being said, if you have a final grade and you're kind of waiting for your tuition, or excuse me, your transcripts to be processed, you can also, you know, take like a screenshot of your unofficial transcript and let your faculty advisor know, because if that's going to influence the types of courses you need to take in the fall, you definitely want to make sure that they know. Okay. All right, let's see. So the question is, if you have a later registration date, does that greatly impact being able to get the classes that you need? Okay, Dahlia is answering that. Okay. Okay. So the question is, to meet with an advisor, do we need to receive an email from first from them or from them first? It's usually a good idea to let them contact you first. If you've already reached out to them, no big deal, but all faculty should be reaching out to students. I would say if you haven't heard anything from your faculty advisor by the end of next week, go ahead and hit us up at our CNSM advising email. And let me pull that up real quick and throw that into the chat. So like essentially you want to be trying to communicate with your faculty advisor, but if you're having any challenges around that, you can always email us. And so I just put the CNSM email in the chat. You can email us there as well, and we can help you either answer the question or make sure that the faculty advisor is getting it. Okay, let's see. All right, so the question is, as a transfer student, we are registering much later than existing students. Do we need to, so will we guaranteed a spot in the classes we need? I want to make sure I'll be a full-time student. So what we do is we reserve seats for our incoming transfer students. We reserve them for you guys. And so the point of that is to make sure that, students are able to get into the courses that they need. As a transfer student, we understand that you guys more than an incoming first-time first-year student need very specific classes to kind of keep you moving. And so that's why we reserve seats specifically for you. So that means that they're going to be spread out across those 3 dates. So yeah, just make sure you attend your advising meeting to get that advising hold lifted, and make sure you also come to orientation so you get that orientation hold. And then if you're registering on a day after the first date, that's okay. We got classes for you. Okay. How long after submitting transcripts will the final acceptance be sent out? So it sounds like you might have a conditional admission. If that is the case, bear with me for a second and see if I can find out those details. Okay, let's see. Okay. So I am not seeing right away that information posted, but here's what I'd ask you to do. Please go ahead and email, I'm going to put our email in the chat again. Please email us cnsm-advising@csulb.edu. And in your email, go ahead and include your ID number. That way we can help you get in contact with admissions. Just so you have a better sense of your timeline. Okay. So it is, the question is, are we required to purchase parking to attend in-person orientation? I believe this year it is going to be taken care of. It's going to be a part of everyone has to pay a fee, or the fee is waived depending on whatever the circumstances are. Long story short, if you've been invited to attend SOAR, you will not have to pay for parking this year, which is awesome. Okay, all right. Should CSU GE certification be sent to CNSM or to the department directly? Okay, great question. So if you're looking for a GE certification, that needs to go to admissions. And so I think this website, give me a sec to look it up. Okay. Let's see, Okay. So we have a newly admitted website. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the chat. So go ahead and click on that. That should give you instructions on how to send over any of the transcripts you have. So with GEs, CNSM, so the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, or our department, it's not that we can't do anything with that, it's just that that's not our area of expertise. We're going to be able to guide students on courses that count towards your major requirements, not and we can't necessarily directly evaluate GEs. But the good news is if you send this over to admissions, they are experts in evaluating GE certification. So you'll want to send it to them and they'll take care of it for you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the question I'm seeing is, how competitive are the reserved transfer seats? How quickly do they fill up? So just to emphasize, we're reserving seats for incoming transfer students, meaning that we know how many transfer students are coming and we're providing seats for transfer students to come in. So don't worry, essentially. You're going to come in, you're going to get registered for your classes, and they're not going to fill up. Okay. And then here's a question. Do you know if organic chemistry is one of the classes that is reserved? For sure. A lot of students will be wanting to take organic chemistry their first semester as a transfer student. So we'll have sections of that for sure. Other questions? We'll give it a minute just in case. While we're waiting to see if there's any more questions, I just want to thank you all so much for being here today. We can't wait to meet you. Our faculty advisors are excited to work with you. We're so proud to be a part of this next chapter in your life, and we're here to support that. So you know, if you've got questions, reach out to us. It's going to be a fun summer, and we're going to look up, and it's going to be the first day of classes. We'll see you on Zoom on your registration date. If you need assistance, we'll be there to kind of help navigate some of those registration questions. And then, you know, as we mentioned, if you have a question that we couldn't answer for you today, or you think of it a little bit later, go ahead and email us so we can either try and answer it ourselves or point you in the right direction to get in touch with that expert. Okay, the question is, am I able to change my orientation date and registration appointment? So I'm not sure. I think it depends on how many seats are available per section. But what I can say is, and I don't know if anyone has this link handy, but what I can say is that you can reach out to SOAR directly and just say, hey, here's my name, here's my ID. I've already registered for a particular section. And Efren just put the link in the chat. And I want to change that and see what they have to say. Okay, and the question is, how soon can I apply for a minor in chemistry? I would say you can start having that conversation in your first semester, and we'll kind of see what's up. And if it's something that'll fit into your plan. And if it does, then that's something that you and your faculty advisor can start that conversation in your first semester. The question is, where on campus will the in-person SOAR registration be meeting? Great question. Let's see. I would say click on the last link in our chat, which is the link to SOAR. There you're going to find all the information. And if that information is not there, you're also going to find their contact information, meaning you can ask them directly. I'm pretty sure that if it's not specifically outlined on their website right now, you can send them, they're going to send you an email with all those details, but if you want to know now, you can use their contact information on that SOAR website to get the specifics. We'll wait a few more minutes to see if any more questions are coming through. Okay, well, I would really like to thank you all again, and I'd like to thank my colleagues, Efren and Dahlia, for everything that you do and for your support in this. Have a wonderful summer and reach out to us if you have questions, okay? Go Beach!